what's the penny swap, right? Big picture. We've got two parts of our budget. We've got under the local tax, we've got our local taxes, which help support maintenance and operations, and that part of our, right now that our tax bill to the taxpayers is $1.04, and then 19.5 cents is for debt. So all that money on the 19.5 cent side, we get 19.5 cents from every taxpayer that's got a home, obviously. These are property taxes, and we use that to pay down our debt. Well, in the last 2 years, we have $350 million of debt. That's for the last 15 or 20 years. I'm giving you maybe more than you need to know, but believe me, you'll get somebody to ask the question. I have already, and I want to make sure that you're prepared, and we'll get you more details. But what it is, real simple, and we can use analogies like your house. We were able to, in the last 2 years, to take $200 million of the $350 million worth of debt, and we refinanced that at about 2 points lower than we had before. Well, that saved us about $5 million worth of payments without extending our payment schedule. I say that because a lot of folks say, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. You're somehow, making the debt stay around longer, or you're playing games with the debt so that you can then move this money over. Well, we didn't do that. What we did is we lowered our payment on the $200 million, and the amount that we lowered our payment is equal to 3 cents a tax. So those 3 cents of tax that we get on the debt side give us $5 million a year to pay down debt. We no longer need those $5 million because we've reduced the interest rate on that $200 million. So now we can move that $5 million over to the M&O side, which is a penny swap. And if we do that, if we move those 3 pennies over, the state will give us $9 million of matching funds on top of the 5, and that's where we get the 14 we talk about. Couple benefits of the 14 million. That 14 million is not tied to ADA. That 14 million comes to the district, and it's here in perpetuity. That 14 million is not dependent on me or this administration or the board. That's money that comes straight to El Paso ISD that can be used for salaries, for improvements in the classroom, for whatever, for helping us in case there's still declining enrollment. We can use the money for that. So those are 14 million freed up dollars that we get that do not impact the taxpayers from this perspective. Our tax rate is flat. We're the only entity. You take the city, the county, the hospitals, El Paso Community College, all the other school districts. We're the only entity in town that hasn't raised their taxes in 8 years. And even today, with this tax rate election, we're not raising our taxes. We're still keeping it at $1.23. We've been prudent with our debt, and now we have these 3 pennies to move over, and there's 14 million come, and they keep coming. They don't go away. So the important thing is this is an August 22nd election. Nobody's going to come to it unless there's 2 reasons they come to it. They're for it or they're against it. You don't casually show up to vote in an August 22nd election. Early voting starts August 5th. Mail-in voting has already started, so we've already got people that have ballots in their hands that unless they've heard what I've just told you, they think it's a tax increase. That's unfortunate. People have asked me in the media, well, how's this different from 2010? Why do you think you'll pass? I wasn't here in 2010, but I can't tell you this. This is the penny swap. They were trying to add pennies to the $1.04, and we're not doing that. We're swapping pennies to maintain a flat tax rate. And then of course they might ask you about what we're doing with the money. Well, 66% is going back to the employees, and that's 2.5% to all of you and all the teachers and all professional employees, and 3.5% to hourly employees. We're able to afford to give them a little bit more because they make a little bit less. So then the numbers worked out that way. We thought it was the right thing to do. Is that good? Yay. But as far as, they've asked us about what are you going to do with the money? Well, we're doing a lot of innovative projects. We want to do better in fine arts. We want to, do things like new tech network, project-based learning across the district, active learning. We want to be able to pay for our laptops without having to go, and all of our devices, whether they're iPads and other grades. We want to do that without going to the voters for a bond. 99% of the school districts, if not all the school districts that I've talked to that are doing this, they're using bond money to buy their devices, and then they are sort of in a bind because what they don't know is in the next they know it, but that superintendent probably thinks I'm not going to be there, so it's somebody else's problem. That's not the way we're handling it here. I want to create a sustainable model for us to be able to do these programs and not have to rely on a bond to do that. It'd be nice if we could do some of that, but I'd rather figure out a way where we could pay good salaries, have all the things we want, and still have some of this technology, but do it within our existing M&O budget. And part of the reason we're doing that, and that's a kudos to our high schools, we're within about 18 months or 2 years of having all teacher-created digital textbooks. We will be the only large urban district in America with teacher-created digital textbooks. We're taking the millions of dollars we get from that to help sustain the one-to-one laptop initiative in high school. Our middle school principals are asking for that already. We've got to get creative about that, but we're going to work as hard as we can to make sure we can pay for these sorts of initiatives with the money we already have. And then, we want to do more in fine arts. We'd like to make sure that our science labs and the STEM programs we have, CCTE, and some of those career tech programs are really robust at all of our schools. We talked about salaries, that's important. And other than that, I think most of you will agree, just having that extra $14 million that's not tied to ADA, which is something we're very concerned about right now, is really a luxury. And I think people need to, because sometimes this gets personal. Maybe they don't, they were mad about the board of managers, or they don't like a trustee, or they don't like the new superintendent. I think people need to get past that and realize this is $14 million that are coming straight to the county, straight to the district. More money in all of our pockets, more money that then we spend in this. It's an economic windfall for us without raising the taxes for anybody. We got to take every kid the way they come to us, and we got to make their life better, and we got to give them a chance. We got to give them a chance, guys, and I'm passionate about that. It's a social justice issue of our time. We have to do it. It's too late in high school, and it's too late after that. I was talking to a couple of legislators today. I was talking to Beto O'Rourke, and I said, with all due respect, tell your buddies in Congress, you're wasting your money in higher ed. You better take care of us from K through 8. If you don't take care of us in K through 8, it's too late. The kids that are going to get lost are already lost. You all know if you work in high school, you got some kid coming to you who's reading 3rd grade. I'm not saying it's impossible, and we better try to do it, but man, that's really, really tough. It's hard for a 9th grader to get excited about class in 9th grade when they're reading at 3rd grade level. Would you want to do that? There's no way. So every kid counts, every kid matters. I know it's a lot harder. It's easier to say than it is to do, but that's our charge. That's what we're going to figure out. And I know we got the right people to do it. Looking forward to a great year.